Scammers come in all shapes and sizes. They can be job scammers looking to exploit you, or can even be your close friends. Let's get started on writing scammers into your stories. Hi, I'm Hugo, and I love writing sci-fi action drama stories as a hobby. So who are scammers and what do they do? Scammers can either be people or organizations who look to exploit other people in order to get money from them. They can be on job searching sites and or can even be businesses who look legit. Since I cannot find any online resources in order to figure out how to write fraud or scammers into stories, I am going to be sharing my experience of how I was job scammed. See how I can apply this into writing scammers in stories. Please note, I'm not going to be naming the organization or the people involved directly, as they claim it would be a breach of contract between them and I. Scammers exploit desperate situations. This is simply because scammers are after desperate people. For instance, during these challenging times which we are having right now, people are looking for jobs. Scammers want to prey upon people who are looking after jobs. Likewise, scammers prey after the elderly, young people, and so forth. For example, when I was job scammed, I applied to multiple places, both within my local area and also on the job searching site. But I only heard back from the business who I later learned scammed me. Thus, scammers are more active during desperate scenarios such as pandemics, wars, economic recessions, and the like. Next, you gotta make scammers trustworthy. For instance, before I found out I was scammed, I assumed the company who hired me was legitimate, where the guy who hired me reached out to me via the job searching site. We had a nice interview and I trusted him. I later searched up the company and thought at first that it looked legit. But sometime shortly after I was hired by the company, I learned that the company has bad practices. I reached out to the person who hired me, who later became my boss, where he did not give any concise answers. I later quit the position because of this. So, in order to make fraudulent people in your stories, you should make them seem like they care to the reader. People don't realize they've been scammed until the scammer pulls the rug right out under them. For instance, even though I researched the organization thoroughly before learning that I was scammed, I didn't realize I was scammed till I learned via the internet that the company has conducted bad practices. The rug was essentially pulled right out under me, where I basically had constant meltdowns because I didn't know what to do and I didn't realize I was scammed until it was too late. As such, scammers have a very heavy mental, emotional, and physical impact on the people they are scamming. Finally, how do your characters recover from the scammers? Do your characters overcome being scammed? If so, how do your characters overcome the scam? For instance, I reported the scam to the authorities and am sharing my story on platforms such as here, YouTube. Being scammed is honestly traumatic. It may feel like you've reached your darkest hour, but if you continue forwards, you can overcome being scammed. The same goes for your characters. So in conclusion, scammers are complicated and terrifying villains who terrorize their victims and cause a lot of harm. Thank you for watching, and merci et à bientôt.